817th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog just launched their new ladders game where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Plus, when you use promo code MMA SGPN, you can get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Once again, that's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN.
Howdy ho to Generinos. Welcome to episode 8. We just talked about 817 of the MMA Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to Breaker Wannabe on the old YouTube, who says you killed it, Gumby, in accordance or regarding your Ryzen picks. So there you go, Gumby. We'll talk about that shortly. I am Lil Campster, Jeff Fox, new nickname. Gumby, did you even notice it's on the screen?
I did. I did because we are using a new streaming service now to record our episodes. And when you enter, instead of just entering, as our old service let us do, this one says Little Campster would like to join you.
No, the best part is people don't know why I'm Little Campster, because that was off air. So that's good. People can find out and try to figure out on their own why I'm Little Campster, Jeff Fox. Little Campster didn't do so hot in the weekend, though.
No.
The big Campster here
didn't look bad. He didn't look bad.
He didn't look great. And yeah, we're talking about UFC, of course. I went 8-4. I broke even. I made $13, so I am up on the year still. Gumby went 5-7. Gumby was neck and neck with me, and then he took a dive in the main card because he stopped following along with my picks. So these things happen in MMA.
Well, no, I mean, you missed one that I got early on too, though, and the little underdog there, where you said your boy there was a better striker, and he was not that.
He was, but it went exactly the way you said it, though. Exactly the way you I give you props for that one. You said
bang,
Lee
baby.
was going to wrestle him. Yeah, you said Lee was going to wrestle him, and he did. So, do we want to talk briefly? Corey Sandhagen, real good. Should be next in line after the title fight.
Here's the only thing I will say. So I agree with you. Let him get his shot. It seems like he's kind of slowly becoming the Kenny Florian of bantamweight. Am I wrong about that?
I heard that someone else say that after that fight too.
It's got that vibe. But I will also say, like, if the UFC for some reason is trying not to give him a title shot, which I don't know if they hate Corey Sandhagen or not. There's no reason to hate him. He's like the sweetest dude on the planet, right? I've interviewed him multiple times.
Really good.
So nice. I would say the only reason they could, maybe not give him that title fight would be 100% that was a freak injury. And was he winning? Yes, but we only saw
it wasn't 7 minutes. It wasn't a freak injury though either.
It was
a leg lock. So
no, I mean, like
kind of. He was countering a leg lock. Right?
I mean, they were like a 50-50 position, and he hipped forward, and his knee went pop. It wasn't an emotional change.
No, it's true.
And like for me, that's a where they would be like, kind of like what was the Arnold Allen Calvin Kattar fight? Neither guy got to take a step forward because of the injury. Same thing with was it Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades? They just held that against Blades. And I don't think they'll hold against Sandhagen, but I will say, like, if you're out there, holding a Corey Sandhagen future or something like that, I'm going to tell you that's the one reason to like pump the brakes on your excitement.
Yeah. He did look very good though. He looked very good.
He always does. Right? Even when he loses, he looks good.
Yep, it's true. It's true. So yeah, Sandhagen got the job done. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, leg locks don't work. Like in UFC level, like guys, I can understand going for them if you're using them. I'm not
tell that to Walter Walker.
Sure. They work if you're trying to use them to like gain position. Yeah. I know I'm not a grappling head.
I think they work to change position very well.
Right.
I think they also work if your opponent is a trash grappler.
But we're talking even the trashiest guys. Like, you don't see heel hooks or any of that stuff going down in the UFC.
Yes, you do. Heavyweight. Walter Walker did it.
Yeah, that's true. Heavyweight.
Multiple times.
So that was a big story. Fraud check ? In the co-main event, Gumby.
I don't know if it's a fraud check. Here's what I will say about I believe what happened to Bo Nickel is just kind of what we've always said about him. And I know I picked him in this fight, so I'm not going to say like, haha, I gotcha. But like, haven't we always just been saying, like, when he faces really good grapplers, he's going to have to box with them or be in the jiu-jitsu fire. And he showed in the Paul Craig fight he doesn't want to be in the jiu-jitsu fire. Yeah, he doesn't trust his offensive grappling enough to take a Rene de Reeder or a Paul Craig to the mat and let them do jiu-jitsu with him. So if that's the case, like, I mean, his ceiling in grappling is very, very high. His floor for boxing is quite low. And so, like, yeah, I thought he was a better boxer, at least had more power than Rene de Reeder. But that proved to be wrong. And this is an example of a fighter who is largely been staying away from his best attribute. And, like, you can lose fights whenever you stay away from your best attribute. Like, right? Like, I've talked to so many fighters who said one of the best things they ever learned was just to, like, go do what they're really freaking good at. And then the rest will follow along. And, like, Bo Nickel has been doing the opposite of that. He's been, like, hyper game planning to the point where he will stay away, even if it means going to the worst part of his game.
He got out everything last night, though. Outstruck, out grappled, out wrestled, out hearted. Like, it seemed like he had enough.
He quit for sure.
Yeah, with the body shots, which is, I was going to say, understandable.
I think he quit before the body shots, arguably. Arguably, he quit before the body shot.
Yeah. And he looks so small too. That's another issue, right?
Well, de Reeder is a big middleweight. Yeah.
All right, well, let's go to the positive side. RDR, he could be a new, not a star for the UFC, but a new Apex headliner, at least that level.
Yeah, right? I mean, I feel like Rene de Reeder versus Nassourdine Mavov is, like, going to open up the Apex one night, or possibly, I don't know. I could see them doing like a we're going to Belgium card and take the Dutch and the French guy and stick him in the main event. Yeah, we're going to Belgium. Yeah, let's do UFC Brussels.
Yes. And then maybe the last thing to mention last night, we saw that there's no such thing as UFC level anymore with that first fight of the night. Yeah, neither of those.
I'm not even going to talk about
girls should be in the UFC, eh? Cut them both. But
no comment.
That was pretty bad. All right. But we're going to get to some good fights. After I remind you, I urge you, if you can support SGPN's free content by taking a second to give us 5 stars and subscribe wherever you are catching these words, wherever you're getting this message, that would be great. Peace and love, peace and love. All right. Call back. Shout out to Ringo with that one. All right. So this week we are doing that. There was multiple events to choose from, which is always nice. PFL is doing selling like hotcakes, because apparently hotcakes sell big somewhere. So we're doing PFL Mena part 1. So that's the Middle East, Northern African version of PFL, because PFL is so big they have to have a whole bunch of different wings. We're doing PFL Europe, and we are doing LFA. So people always want to ask what we're not doing, because there's so much to choose from. KSW, we're going to get you the bonus content. Gummy's going to write at least one article on sportsgamblingpodcast.com for KSW, and hopefully we can get you some bonus YouTube content for that as well. So
yeah,
I know you're going to
ask YouTube shorts. I try to get stuff up in the YouTube shorts when we're short on episodes on the week. So keep an eye on there, and I will do my best to get you some KSW picks.
Because we have a UFC pay-per-view to cover this week too. So lots of stuff going on. Let's dive into the first event we're covering, which is PFL Mena number 1, 2025 regular season. The UFC PFL has a way with words, don't they? All their events are named so
name it perfectly,
so awkwardly always, and you never really know what to call it. When I make up the articles, I'm like, what am I calling this? Anyhow, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia is where it's happening. May the 9th, which is, what day of the week is that? Is that a Thursday? You never know with PFL because they're all over the map. Is that a Thursday night? That is a Friday night. Actually, not night, Friday afternoon, morning, actually, 11:30 a.m. PFL is going to PFL. So 11:30 a.m. Friday. So ignore your work and watch the PFL and bet on it, obviously. If you're in the Saudi Arabian area or plan on going, it's at the Onyx Arena. We got 12 fights. We are covering, I believe it's the top 5, right? All the top 5 fights. So basically, this is most of the fights are tournament fights, right? They're doing 145, 155.
All four featherweight tournament fights.
Right.
All 4 featherweight tournament fights, and then one of the lightweight tournament fights.
Okay. And this is, they win like 100,000 or something, right? It's probably been cut down to 10 grand or something.
Yeah.
Something and like that, isn't it?
In theory, is supposed to also be a trip to the PFL proper.
Yep.
At least that's the way they pitched it in the beginning, but it doesn't seem to be what they're doing anymore.
since we have two former champs in this tournament that we're going to talk about in a couple minutes, yeah, it doesn't really seem like that's the case anymore. All right. I think Gumby, another reason Gumby picked this event is because of the names on it. He wants to see me have fun with the names and with the flags. Let's start things off. Featherweight tournament, opening round fight. Izzeddine Al-Derbani, wasn't that hard, versus Yanis Ghemmouri. I know him, used to fight in the old UFC. All right. Al-Derbani is from Jordan. So he's Jordanian, that would mean. Ghemmouri is from somewhere, I want to say like
He's French.
I know, but I thought it was like, oh yeah, he is French. I was thinking it was one of the French-speaking Northern African countries, but no, he is from France. All right, let's break it down. More importantly than where these people are from, let's get you the winning picks. No odds yet. They should hopefully be dropping within a few days or midweek at the very least. Ghemmouri is the Desert Warrior. I am the Desert Warrior. He is the Desert Warrior. 12-3. Did I do that joke before? I probably did. It seems like something I would have said before. Yeah. 12-3. Chalky joke. 3 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted once. This is his debut in PFL. He's lost 2 straight fights, both via TKO. He went 0-2 in the UFC. He does have multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get all our merch. I'm wearing SGPN jogging pants currently and a hat at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Used to fight at 135, 2014 pro MMA debut, 6 years younger than Al-Derbani. Al-Derbani is a Palestinian samurai. 15-5, 2 knockouts, 5 submissions, knocked out once, submitted once. That makes him durable. This is his debut as well. Loss, win, loss, win, loss over his last 5. He got submitted in his last bout. Used to fight down weight class, up weight class, 135, 155. 2014 pro MMA debut, 1-0 in pro Muay Thai. He's an inch taller than Ghemmouri. This is where Gumby takes over.
Yeah, I'm going to say Ghemmouri probably negative 325 on the books. That's where I'd expect for it to post. And I'm going to go with him in this one. When I was watching Al-Derbani back again, reminded myself of what he was good at. Like really nice low kicks, really nice work to the body. But the biggest problem is he does a lot of backpedaling. So often he's hitting those leg kicks almost as he's like trying to exit out of exchanges rather than to put an exclamation point on an exchange. And so like that's already not good. And then also like he has been tossed around in the grappling department real bad. Shorty Torres came up to bantamweight to fight Al-Derbani, who's now fighting at featherweight. So like we basically a featherweight fighting a flyweight, and like Shorty like judo tossed him, which like I don't know, did Shorty come from a judo background? I always thought he was just a wrestler. I watched the judo toss and I was like, I don't even know if he's supposed to be good at judo. But here he is.
You're not supposed to do that.
He's judo tossing Al-Derbani. So that wasn't good. And so those are big, areas of concern. And then when you watch Ghemmouri, I know he didn't fare well in the UFC, but the big thing for him was that he's really good at establishing range. He has like kind of a wide stance along with like his hands are really wide when he's throwing. But he like works in enough feints that gets people to bite and sort of like back up. So he's already good at backing people up against the cage, and that's really where he unloads on them. And as I said, that's already part of the problem in Derbani's game. Like he's a guy who gets backed up a lot. We had a guy who does a good job of doing that and capitalizing on it. So for those reasons, I'm on Ghemmouri. The number's probably going to be big. It's probably like parlay material. But yeah, that's where I'm going to go with this one.
All right. Before we get to more winning picks, let me talk about Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums. Earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. So sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet. Code SGPN. And we're brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA playoffs. Plus props for every game. For the true degens, the MyBookie money bag, where you get a random future bet. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Check out all the Al Horford second round prop bets there. And of course, they will have PFL lines up there as well. And when you do head over to mybookie.ag, make sure you use our promo code MMASGPN. You see it on your screen if you're watching us on YouTube, and you get 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. Right back to Saudi Arabia we go, virtually at the very least. We are sticking with featherweights. Hussein Salem versus Assem Ghanem. This shouldn't even be hard. Why am I even pausing? They are countrymen. They're both from Iraq. let's break it down. Tell you about Ghanem first. 4-0, 1 knockout, 1 submission. This is his debut. He's regional champ. He won his last 5 via TKO. He is 10 years younger than Salem. Salem is 12-5, 4 knockouts, 8 submissions. So he's finished everyone. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. He's won 2 straight in 506. He's not lost since May of 2023. He went 1-0 in 1 championship, the biggest promotion in the world, who are now canceling events in the United States, or their most recent event they've canceled. Regional champ, used to fight at 155, 2014 pro MMA debut.
So I think this one's going to come in like a pick'em. I was trying to establish who would be the favorite, but like Salem is obviously got a much more established record. Ghanem is, what did you say, 4-0 at this point?
Yeah.
So like a little bit shorter on a record. You know, you've seen good performances out of Salem. Ghanem have fought almost nobody of noteworthy. So for those reasons, I think it's going to be a pick'em, and I'm gonna go with the rook here. I'm gonna go with Assem Ghanem. The difference for me, you know, Salem has got big knockout power. He throws big hooks. He seems to have a lot of power in his front kick. He doesn't always land it up top, but like sometimes just to the stomach or something like that. Like he's always got big power. And I think that could be a game changer, and also probably why this line could come in even. I also wouldn't be surprised if people saw some of his knockouts and started betting on him. But the problem for me is just like his takedown defense is almost non-existent. His takedown defense is here's a guillotine, I'm going to grab it. And like that can only work so many times, right? Like that's only successful, you know, so much. So as a result, like I was like, basically I watched the film on him and I was like, damn, if he fights somebody who can wrestle, he's going to lose. And then I watched Ghanem and like Ghanem could wrestle. I know he's fought like really bad competition so far in his pro career. But like he can definitely wrestle. He gets to the hips really well. He's very strong. Somebody tried to shoot a takedown on him. He did that move. Man, I wish I was more apt at talking about wrestling nomenclature, because I got all the jiu-jitsu nomenclature, but I ain't got any for wrestling. But he does that move where he like reaches over the back and he hooks the guy's leg and then just flops him over. It was like really, really impressive. So he's like very physically strong and also just like a very, very technically proficient grappler. And I think that's pretty much all you need to beat Hussein Salem. So I'm going to go Assem Ghanem. And again, I think probably pick him, but it wouldn't also shock me if he snuck into being an underdog here.
More like awesome Ghanem, right, Gumby? Hopefully.
Yeah.
There we go. I got one in there. Awesome Ghanem is the title of the episode. People will see right now. So that's where I got the title from. Everyone wondered what that title meant. All right. I was going to check, because we always like to check when you think it's a pick on what do the other people think?
Oh, what the topology folk think?
58-42 Ghanem with the 58. So yeah.
Okay, they got him slightly ahead. Okay. Yeah. So like that would, you know, pan out as like a -130 favorite. And so I wouldn't be surprised if the books then, you know, gave a little more to Salem for all of the experience he's got.
Yep. All right, third from the top is featherweight tournament as well. Taha Bendaoud versus Abdalrahman Alhyasat. Let me see. Bendaoud is from Morocco, so he is Moroccan. That would mean, right? Then Alhyasat is from, which flag is that? He is from Jordan, so he's Jordanian. All right, let's break her down, shall we? Used to just be able to hover over the flags on Tapology, but now you actually have to click through, which is annoying. Alhyasat is Cobra, 5-2, 2-0 in the PFL. He's used to fight at 155, an inch height, an inch reach over Bendaoud. Bendaoud is Atlas Lion, so whatever an Atlas Lion is versus a Cobra. He is 4-0 with 2 submissions, 1-0 in PFL. Won his last fight via submission. Used to fight at 135, 6 years younger than Alhyasat. So a couple guys, not much experience, but Gumby will know about him.
Well, Alhyasat should have been in the finals of last year's PFL Mena. He's the one who got hurt and had to get pulled so that Abdullah Al-Qahtani wound up fighting in the finals and winning. So Alhyasat, you know, it's won some pretty high-level fights before. I think for those reasons, he's going to be a big-ish favorite, like -250 here. And the big piece for me on why I'm going to make him a favorite, and I'm going to pick him here too, is just that, like, I think Bendaoud is completely out of his element if somebody doesn't take him down. Like, he doesn't have enough wrestling to force somebody to grapple with him. But, like, his path to victory are, like, submit him or don't win. Those are his two. That's the problem here with Taha. So for me, you know, and to be be frank, like if somebody takes him down, if Alhyasat sort of makes the mistake here and decides to shoot, I think he's going to have some trouble because Bendaoud has, like not just good guard stuff where he like throws up arm bars and triangles and stuff like that, but he goes like rubber guard kind of often. And like, I've seen him sweep people with that and then have like sort of dangerous top control too. But Alhyasat, like I've seen him slam people. He's, pretty damn good when he decides to wrestle, and then he could just decide not to. And I'm hoping he's game enough to just understand like, hey, don't do that. There's no reason to do that. And if he just keeps it on the feet, like he's not crazy powerful, but he is like good and sharp in terms of like cutting angles and stuff like that. And Bendaoud is just like out of his element when it comes to striking. So I'm gonna go Alhyasat. I think again, just don't shoot a takedown, my friend. Keep the fight on the feet, and this should be an easy one.
And you said about minus 250, right?
That's what I'm guessing. Yeah.
All right. That is the guess. So that is what we're going to go with here as well. All right. Let's give you another winner, shall we? It's co-main event. Mohsen Mohammadseifi versus Ahmed Sisy. You want to last name it Sisy, a fighter? Probably not a good thing. Maybe that's why he is a fighter, though. Mohammadseifi is from Iran. I'm sure it's not really Sisy. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong as well. But it's funnier that way.
I think it's Sisy, but I could be wrong.
The Sisy, Sisy. Sisy is from Egypt, so I will not be calling him a Sisy to his face, that's for sure. Sisy is 6-1 with 1 no contest, 4 knockouts. He's never been finished himself. This is his debut. He in PFL regional champion. He's won 2 straight, both via TKO. He's not lost since June 2022. Used to fight at 170. Mohammadseifi is the golden boy, 7-2 with 4 knockouts. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. 3-0 in PFL. He was the MENA champion last season, and he's back again. Somehow he's still stuck in MENA. He has won 7 straight fights. He's not lost since June of 2019.
Yeah, Mohsen Mohammadseifi should be the favorite here. My guess, negative 250, negative 275 maybe on him. And I'm going to take him in this fight. LCC has a quite a decent grappling game. Like he does a pretty good job when he's on top of you. Although I do think he shoots from too far away, which could definitely be a problem against Mohammadseifi. But the other thing that could be a problem against Mohammadseifi is that dude is an absolute juggernaut. He's like a stocky little muscle.
Muscle hamster?
Little, I mean, who was the muscle hamster? Do you remember the
muscle hamster?
No,
Sean Shark was the muscle. Sean Shark was the muscle shark, right?
Yeah, there was a running back that was the muscle hamster, which you wouldn't know from American football.
I remember him. What's his name though?
Shout out in the comments if you remember who the muscle hamster
Josiah Harrell is the muscle hamster.
No, that's in wrestling.
Was
it Maurice Jones-Drew? It was Maurice Jones-Drew.
No, it's not. Doug Martin. I knew it was.
Doug Martin. Same era.
Yes. It was. Damn. All right, go ahead.
So yeah, he's built like that. He's built like a running back in the NFL. Stocky dude, big arms. He throws a huge overhand right that he loves over and over and over again. And he's got big power, hurts people. I personally like his grappling game, but the weird thing he does in his grappling game, and maybe this plays really well against El Sisy, is he like enters a takedown like he's going to shoot one, meets the tiniest bit of resistance, backs up and hits you with a hook. And I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or if he just bails on his takedowns all the time, but like it looks good enough that it would give somebody who shoots from too far away, like some hope that he's getting to grappling only to get popped in the face. And like Mohammadseifi, just so dangerous during last year's tournament. I have to double down on how much I liked him last year. So give me Mohsen Mohammadseifi. Probably if you're looking for another way to get down on this, like his knockout prop is probably the right way. So Mohammadseifi is my play here.
And you're hoping the mid to high 2s, hopefully mid 2s, right?
Right.
All right, cool. Before we dive into the very last fight, let me tell you about Underdog, because it is time for Gumby's bonus Underdog Pick'em. Underdog just launched their new game ladders. Win up to 500 times watching your favorite players climb the ladder. All right, Gumby, do you have a play for the people?
Sure. They haven't dropped the projections yet, but I'm going to tell you what I'm in on already when the UFC projections for UFC 315 go down. I'm going to take the higher than on Alexa Grasso's significant strikes. She's fighting Natalia Silva. I think people are underestimating just how good Grasso is, particularly on the feet. And I think that fight should take the full 15 minutes. So I'll take the higher than on her significant strikes.
All right. Take that and take our special promo code for you, SGPN MMA, to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. So it's underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN MMA, or is it MMA SGPN? I'm confused again.
MMA SGPN. It's right on the screen there for you, my man.
MMA I'm reading off my phone. MMA SGPN. There it is. All right. You know why I messed it up, because our Twitter is the opposite. But anyhow, that's fine. Also because I'm old and I don't sleep enough. That's another reason. We're to our main event already. It is 145 as well. This is a very featherweight heavy episode. Abdullah Al-Qahtani versus Islam Reda. I just
you missed an ad read there, my friend. You want to go back and hit
I did miss an ad read. You're right. All right, we're going back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I can't forget rhythm.
I put the little graphic up, and then you stopped talking. I freaked out.
I want to tell you all about Abdullah Al-Qahtani, but it can wait, because Rhythm is your home for back picks and props. Dominate the NBA playoffs and MLB prop market with Rhythm. Building your model is simple and easy. Rhythm knows you'll love it. That's why they include a 7-day free trial. Check out the Al Horford prop, the lines there, projections for round 2, and Rhythm has some amazing deals going on right now. 25% off monthly subscription with promo code SGPN25 and 50% off annual subscription with promo code SGPN50. That's RITHMM for Rhythm, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50, and you get a 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpockets.com/rhythm. Gumby's working for his money today. All right, now we can get to the main event. Abdullah Al-Qahtani, he's from Saudi Arabia. He's fighting in a featherweight tournament bout against Islam Reda. He is from Egypt. All these fights are 3 5-minute rounds. I don't think I've said that yet, but they are, even the main event. Right, Reda is the Egyptian zombie. 12-1 with 8 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. He's 2-0 in PFL. He's won 6 straight fights. He's not lost since December 2018. He is a regional champ. He's fought at 155 and 170. 2013 pro MMA debut, 0-1 as a pro grappler. Al-Qahtani is the Reaper versus the Egyptian zombie. The nicknames are lining up pretty good again. We have 2 animal ones against each other, and now we have 2, I don't know what you call these, mythical characters. He's 10-2, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. He's never been finished in a fight. 5-1 in PFL. He is the reigning champion of Mena as well. He's won 5 of his last 6. TKO win in his last bout. He's fight at 155, 2 inches height, 3 years younger than Reda.
So this is an interesting one because, Al-Qahtani is the reigning champion. However, he won the finals that he shouldn't have been in over a guy who also had already lost in the tournament. And as a result, I don't know if the books believed him to be like a quote-unquote champion.
Yeah.
I originally thought he would be the favorite. I'm hearing a lot of people tell me that Reda is going to be the favorite when I was asking around. They think he's probably a lot more popular. They have the Alhyasat loss on Al-Qahtani's record that possibly drags him down. So I thought Al-Qahtani would be the favorite. I'm hearing otherwise. We talk about it like it's a pick 'em in those instances. And I'm going to take Al-Qahtani. Reda to me just muscles way too much. He's somebody who I don't really trust much of what he's doing standing up. And anytime he tries to go for a takedown, it's like muscle on muscle on muscle on muscle. And then, with Al-Qahtani, like, I like his jab. It's particularly sharp. I think some of the rest of his stuff is kind of wide. He keeps his hands low trying to draw somebody in. And in certain fights, like if he was fighting Alhyasat, I would worry about that. But against Reda, he's a guy who, like I said, I don't trust too much of what he's doing standing up wise anyway. And maybe those low hands actually help him dig underhooks on those shots that Reda's going to take and then try to muscle through. I like the cardio of Al-Qahtani better than I like it of Reda too. So I'm going to take the reigning champ here and hopefully you get a good number on him.
I think when I checked, it was 66% on him though, which isn't good. But
on Al-Qahtani?
No, on Reda. I'm sorry, on Reda. That is good.
That is good. Then. Yes.
Yeah.
I would have been surprised if it was 66 on Al-Qahtani.
Yeah. There you go. Lucky you made a surprise noise with the voice.
Let's get some dog.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. So maybe what you've heard is correct, Gumby, from the people. All right, let's give you a recap, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have a lightning round this episode, Gumby?
We sure do.
All right. Recap, then lightning round. Awesome. Al-Qahtani, Mohammadseifi, Alhyasat, Ghanem, Ghemmouri. I did all right this episode, if I do say so myself, with the names, right? I didn't butcher them like I usually do.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm going to take for my 2 lightning round picks. I'm going to take Abdullah Salem. He is a really great grappler who is fresh off a drug suspension for steroids. but he's really powerful, or at least was before. I like his top control, so I think I'm going to take him again here. I don't think he's going to be completely weak following his last fight, but yeah, I'm going to go with him in this one. And then I like George Eid. He was in the tournament last year. He's in it again this year. I liked some of his fights. Like he looked good at points. There was lots to like about him. I would say the other reason I really like him is his opponent might be the grand champion of the record ineligible fights. It says on Tapology he's 2-0, but he's had like 9 fights or something like
nice.
that.
Yeah, so he's ineligible,
like,
right?
He might be the reigning champion of the record ineligible world. So I'll take George Eid and Abdullah Salem as my 2 lightning round picks.
All right. You're all set. I didn't tell you people where you watch this. I'm going to look it up myself. I think it says DAZN.
I don't know if anybody actually knows.
DAZN, if you're in Canada, which is why I don't watch PFL anymore, because I'm not. DAZN's something like ridiculous, like $30 a month or something ridiculous, which is not worth it. United States, it says nothing, which is great. Good job, PFL website. When you type in United States, it says no results found. So
that's good.
Tapology says DAZN as well, but you people are smart, and you'll figure these things out. All right, these things happen in MMA when you're talking with PFL. All right, so you're all set now. If you want to chat about this or anything else, hop in our Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Fights is our channel. You can hit us up on the old YouTube in the comments. Make sure you subscribe first. That's all I ask. MMA Gambling Podcast, of course, on YouTube. You can hit us up on the old Twitter, SGPN MMA. Gumby runs that. He is at Gumby Reeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer there. Same as on Instagram for me, Jeff Fox Writer. Check out my Substack. Enter my free UFC Pick'em contest that I run every week at moneymma.substack.com. Gumby has another podcast. It's called the Top Turtle MMA Podcast. You didn't jinx Jillian Robertson, that's for sure, this week.
No,
who else
she
was
looked
on
damn good.
Man.
Her takedowns have gotten wild.
Yes. And if she's going to ground and pound like that, too, it's going to be problems.
Yeah, but Cameron Smotherman and Tim Johnson both lost.
Yeah. Anyhow, this week, do you know who's on this week?
I'm in Zahabi ahead of his fight with Jose Aldo and Modestas Bukauskas, who's fighting Ion Kudalaba this weekend.
He's got to be excited about that Jose Aldo.
He's jacked up. He's really excited.
Yeah, that is quite a. I wouldn't say. I guess a step up. Aldo still has it, but definitely a step up.
Yeah, better than
name value for sure,
or whoever else.
In name value for sure, he's That is exciting. All right, so check out Top Turtle, and of course, we can be found at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store to get your merch. We always have new merch showing up there, so check it out. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon to get some bonus content. All right, we're back tomorrow. Atlas Lion, Jeff Fox, the Golden Boy, Gumby Reeland. We'll talk to you then.